Well, hello, Power Partners, and welcome to our informational playground. This is Starstyle, Be the Star You Are, and I am your host, Cynthia Brian. We're coming to you on the Voice America Network, the Voice America Media, the Empowerment Channel, and we're brought to the airwaves under the auspices of Be the Star You Are charity. Be the Star You Are will be at the Pear and Wine Festival coming up this next week. So please visit bethestaryouare.org and check on events and come join the party with us. The miracle moment for today is brought to you by Starstyle Productions. Starstyle is producing this show and is one of the sponsors of that Pear Festival. This is from Zorba the Greek. We probably remember that film. That was really fun. A man needs a little madness, or else he never dares to cut the rope and be free. Think about it. We need a little madness, or else we never dare cut the rope and be free. Well, in today's show, in segment one, I'm going to talk to you about collagen. Because collagen accounts for almost a third of the total proteins in our body. And the need for collagen can be satisfied through the foods we eat, but you can also take a supplement, which most studies have said is safe and probably good for you. In segment two, we're going to go on with posture. You know, when you were growing up, everybody, or your mom at least, probably told you to stand up straight. At least my parents told me to stand up straight. And it turns out that good posture is really important, and poor posture can lead to falls and tripping. So we need to strengthen our muscles and sit up straight and do the pelvic tilts and, train our core and develop a healthy way of standing and sitting. And it does make sense. I really remember, especially when I was a teenager, where my mom would say, stand up straight, put your shoulders back, put your chest out, pull your stomach in. And it would be like, oh my gosh, how do I do all this? But but it is something important. This is well, as when it comes to posture, you do need to stand up straight and pull your stomach in. But let's talk about collagen first, because it might make sense to take some collagen supplements, especially if you are having any pain or specifically any arthritis pain. And you might be wondering why I wanted to talk about collagen today. And that is because many years ago, I rescued a baby deer. Well, actually, she was full grown. I rescued her when she was a baby, and when she was a full grown deer and lived out in the wilderness on her own, once in a while she would come back to see me. And one time she got scared by her friend that was a dog, and she jumped into my arms as we were standing on a hill over a ravine, and we both went rolling down the ravine, and we both injured ourselves very seriously. And I, after many months, had to have surgery because I had completely ripped my meniscus in my knee. And she had hurt her spine. So both of us were laid up. The deer and the deer's mom. I didn't write about the injury, but that particular deer, Bambina, is the focus of the third book in my Stella Bella Barnyard Adventure series. It's called Books in the Barnyard, Oh Dear. So if you want to read about it, you can check out cynthiabrian.com and you can read about it. But getting back to my injury, I had to have my meniscus removed, and it was fine for years. But in the last few years, my knee has really been causing me problems. And I've tried everything. I have tried physical therapy, chiropractic, massage, um, let's see, what's it called with the needles? Acupuncture, acupressure, water therapy. I've had the injections. I had PRP, which is they inject plasma. And now I'm thinking, well, maybe some collagen would reduce the pain. Chances are I'm going to probably need surgery again. But in the meantime, let's talk about what collagen can do. Because in our bones, our tendons, and our ligaments, and cartilage, as well as our other tissues, we have a high amount of collagen. And maybe getting a little extra in our diet could improve those achy joints, and especially if you have arthritis or osteoarthritis. So many people ask if supplements can help, and I've been investigating this. So, first of all, what is collagen? Collagen accounts for nearly 1/3 of the total proteins that we have in our body. And there are 28 different types of collagen that have been identified. The most prevalent ones are type 1, which is in the bones, the skin, the tendons, the ligaments, and the fascia. The type 2 is most of the collagen that in our cartilage and other tissues. Type 3 is in our muscles, our skin, our arteries, and our organs. Type 4 just supports various tissues in the body, and I'm not sure what specific tissues. And type 5 is the collagen that's in our skin, our hair, and other structures. You know, they say that we get less wrinkles if we have more collagen in our face. So your need for collagen can be satisfied through the diet, and we get it from protein sources like beef, chicken, fish. And the body forms collagen when it breaks down those proteins. Although, as you get older, the process is less efficient than when it was when you were younger. So, this is where physicians are thinking that supplements could be useful. And the value of collagen supplements has been studied, and there are high quality studies that have been done. And of course, there's always more that need to be done because that's the way studies go. But the conclusions are positive. Now, a study published in the American Journal of Translational Research combined data from 8 studies that compared type 2 collagen, and the type 2, that's most of the collagen and cartilage and other tissues, the supplements for type 2 collagen with a placebo for knee osteoarthritis. After 3 to 6 months, those taking the supplements showed greater pain reduction and improved function. Well, since it's my knee that's hurting me, I thought, that sounds like it's really could be good. So, whether collagen supplements will help you comes down to basically trial and error, and possibly how advanced your pain is, or if you have arthritis or the injury. Some people will notice a reduced pain when they're taking collagen supplements. Some people, it takes a longer period of time. They may have to increase the dosage, but most people do get some kind of reduction of their pain. Now, it is important to note that collagen supplements do not increase cartilage. They could just slow the progression of any osteoarthritis. And so, especially if you're just beginning to have some pain, and almost everybody gets osteoarthritis at some point in their life. So, it may not be a bad thing to incorporate them as a natural way to get some relief. And especially if you're an athlete, I've been an athlete my whole life. And so, I think I've really worked my body really, really hard. So, probably taking some collagen isn't a bad idea for me. Now, if you get osteoarthritis, or I should say when, you might not see the benefits if it gets to an advanced stage. And so nobody really knows how long you're supposed to wait. It could take a few weeks, it could take 3 to 6 months, but it usually is sooner. At least that's what the studies are showing. And that that goes in conjunction with eating the right foods, exercising, and improving your overall lifestyle. Now, the safety of supplements, it is said that the collagen supplements are safe. Obviously, always talk to your doctor before starting any new regimen at all. Some supplements could be made with additional ingredients, and you may not want those in your supplements, and they might actually interact if you're taking some other medication, or if you have some other, you know, I don't want to say disease, but some other health issues. So you want to be really careful. And it is advised, if you are going to take a supplement, to eat them when you eat your lunch or your dinner or your breakfast, because some people experience gastrointestinal side effects with collagen supplements. But how do you choose them? There are two main categories of collagen. There's unnatured and native collagen and hydrolyzed collagen. Now, collagen is composed of various peptides, have to be broken down, and the process of hydrolysis of collagen improves its absorption. And because of this, suggested doses are smaller, typically between 5 and 10 grams a day versus 40 grams a day if you have to take native collagen. However, there really haven't been any head to head studies that have shown one category of collagen is better than any other. So, the body needs other nutrients to help with collagen production. So, you can't forget this. You can't just take a collagen supplement and think that you're good. You have to really get your collagen from your food and your vitamin C, like citrus fruits and strawberries and bell peppers. And you need zinc in your diet, which is red meat, poultry, pork, legumes, nuts, seeds, leafy greens, grains. And you also need copper, which comes in leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and mushrooms. So when you're choosing a supplement, look for supplements that could contain many types of supplements. And then make sure to scan the labels for the USP or NSF seal to show that third party testing has been done to verify the ingredients. You could also get a supplement as a powder. Well, you can get it as pills, capsules, liquids, and a powder. And I did try it as a powder. You could put it in your coffee or your smoothie or even in water. It didn't have any taste at all. So that was maybe an easy way to get the collagen. Although, it's a little, maybe it's a little messy because you've got to measure it out. But I ended up just recently buying a multi-collagen peptide complex, and it has type 1, type 2, type 3, type 5 with biotin, vitamin C, and hyaluronic acid. And I've been told I actually had hyaluronic acid injected into my knee, and I've been told that that will ease pain. So you can look for it, but again, talk to your doctor. And I'll just go over the types of collagen again. Type 1 is in your bones, skin, tendons, ligaments, and fascia. Type 2 is most of the collagen in cartilage and other tissues. Type 3 is for your muscles, your skin, your arteries, and your organs. Type 4, it just provides support to various tissues of the body. And type 5 is for your skin, your hair, and your other structures. So it supposedly the collagen is good for your fingernails and makes shinier hair and all of that. So check it out. Talk to your doctor, and if you are diagnosed with any arthritis or osteoarthritis in one of your joints, maybe collagen can help. Well, you're listening to Cynthia Brian. This is Star Style. Be the star you are. We'll be back with a business bite, and then after that, we're going to talk about standing up straight and having some good posture. Don't go away. Are you tapped into women businesses? As women owned firms continue to outpace the market, here are a few characteristics of women owned businesses which have been identified by the National Foundation for Women Business Owners that could help you partner and or collaborate with them. Women entrepreneurs place more value on relationships and information than men. Women are more likely to seek out help from others and to actually ask questions. Women are more proactive to embrace new technology than men. Women value vendor support and service while making decisions. And although women still have a bit of a lower credit, they have more access to capital. And women are less likely to sell to small corporations. 42% sell to government and large corporations. So remember, you're the star of your own performance. Turn your passions into profits. and embrace women entrepreneurs and women in business. This is Cynthia Brian with Starstyle. Be the star you are. For more information, visit cynthiabrian.com. That's Brian with an I.com. Well, we're back, and this is Star Style, Be the Star You Are. And we were just talking about collagen, and I'm going to continue this health issue because I think it's really important. And I'm finding that it's been important for me to learn about it. And when I learn things, I like to bring it to you. I am Cynthia Brian. This is Star Style. We're on the Voice America Media, and we are coming to you through Be the Star You Are. So there is a purpose in posture. I am now going to physical therapy twice a week just to get stronger and to try to release some of the pain that I am having in my knee. But if you ever remember, I'm sure your mom did it. I think every mom did it because even my aunts did it, telling you to stand up straight, put those shoulders back, put your chest out, put your head high, be high and proud. I mean, if moms had explained why it was important, maybe most of us would have been quicker to follow the advice. But I'm really, as I sit at my computer now, I am attempting to pull my stomach in, put my shoulders back, and to sit up straight. And when I'm walking, I try to remember the tip that I teach all my students. I call it puppet on a string. It's like you pull a hair, you lift a hair off the top of your head to act as if you are a puppet on a string so that you're just hanging there, so that you are standing up straight. So the good news is no matter what you're doing now, it's never too late to improve your posture. And it really does matter. One of the most important reasons to have good posture is to reduce the stress on your joints and your muscles and to distribute your body weight evenly. And even when you are bent forward and your back is slouched, it kind of feels like you're relaxing. Like I bend over my computer, but the reality is that I'm really stressing my joints. So we have to remember that if you don't use them, you're going to lose them. You've probably heard that before, use it or lose it. So muscles are important for postures, and that is especially important for back muscles because they are endurance muscles. And there are a couple of different ways they talk about them. They talk about them as a slow twitch muscle, but poor posture engages fast twist muscles. So if you want to compare the two, you can think of a burst of energy of a sprinter rather than a slow and steady, continuous run of a marathoner. So, when slow switch endurance muscles don't get utilized as much as fast twitch ones, their muscle fibers ultimately become less capable of doing their job. So there are consequences to poor posture. And one of them is an increased risk of falling. Now, falling is a way that you can break your hip. And as we know from so many studies, even though there are hip replacements, etc., especially in older people, when they break a hip, it could be a downward spiral towards death. So you don't want to fall. Now, bad posture can also throw off your balance. If your eyes are looking down at the ground, instead of ahead of you, you are at more risk of tripping over something. One thing you can do, I like to try to do it, and I say try because I don't always succeed. When I'm brushing my teeth, to stand on one foot and brush my teeth and balance, and then switch to the other foot and brush your teeth. And in my head, I'm singing happy birthday because you're supposed to sing happy birthday while you're brushing your teeth to know how long to keep those pearly whites nice and clean. But when you're standing up straight, your neck, your shoulders, and your back should all be aligned. And when any of these parts fall out of line, you might experience that neck, shoulder, or back pain, or you might even get headaches. And most people aren't even aware that they have poor posture because when we look at ourselves in a mirror, normally we are looking at ourselves head on in the mirror. And so we're not really seeing how we're standing. So it's so much better if you can check your alignment by looking at yourself from the side. So stand in front of the mirror, but stand sideways. Try that trick I showed you or told you about, since you can't see me, the puppet on a string, where you pull a piece of hair or like a string out of the top of your head, so that it is coming down from the ceiling to the center of your ear to your shoulders. And then look to see, are your shoulders in line, or are they so far back that they're behind your ears, or are they too far forward so that you're actually slouching forward? Your hips need to also be in line with the center of your ear and your shoulder. And if you're not sure about this, again, next time you see your doctor, ask your doctor about your posture and have your doctor show you how to do good posture. But one of the things that's very important is to train your core muscles. So if you want to improve your posture and improve your stability and your strength, you have to improve your core muscles, because weakness in those core muscles, that's the abdominal, it's like your stomach right around your belly button and your back, they work together to support you. And if they're not strong, you'll create stress and strain on your lower back muscles. So you also always hear strengthen your core. Well, you just got to really, really work on it to get your better posture. And you're going to feel better in general. You have better health in general. So you might, if you could even go to a physical therapist who could show you how to do this. They can teach you the right posture for workouts, because even if you're working out, you may not be doing it right. Even if you're walking or cycling or strength training, it's better to know how to do it. So you could probably get a session or two with a physical therapist. And usually insurance pays the majority of that. So that if you have health insurance, you're usually covered. Now, um, when you're exercising, a huge part of exercising is proper form. And if you go to a gym or you take an exercise class, I'm sure you've been told that before, and you have to target the correct muscles so that you're not doing damage or injuring other parts of your body. And once you have targeted the core muscles and you're doing it correctly, you're going to find that your overall strength increases. Now, when you're sitting, it's actually hard on your body to sit. Posture really matters, not only when you're standing, not only when you're walking, but also when you're seated. And so many of us, if you work on a computer or you work in an office in some regards, you're going to be sitting a lot. And that sitting position puts the most load on your spine. So when we sit in for a long period, as I was saying, so often we tend to start slouching. I know I do. And what that does is it pulls the body out of alignment. And that sitting with poor posture will cause, for sure, your lower back, your neck, even rotator cuff pain. And those are the rotator cuff are the muscles that support your shoulders. And if you have, again, any arthritis in any of those places, your discomfort is going to be amplified. So the solution to that is to try to get up every 20 to 30 minutes and move for a few minutes. And I am terrible at that, because once I'm on a project, whether I'm writing a book or writing an article or doing stuff for this radio show or doing something for Be the Star You Are, or whatever it is that I'm doing, I want to get it done and go all the way. So I'm there longer. I might be there an hour or more. And then I go to get up and oh, it hurts, right? So we need to set a timer. And if you have a lot of soreness or stiffness, maybe get up even every 15 to 20 minutes. And a lot of us, well, me, I get engrossed in a meeting or a Zoom meeting, or maybe you just have a hobby that you like doing and you're bending over. So set a timer to just walk around and shake it out and get your muscles moving. And there are some posture enhancing exercises that I can share with you. And I'm just going to give you three that I do, and they seem to work, and they're not hard. They're actually pretty easy. You do two sets of 10 repetitions, and then try to rest for 30 seconds or even a minute between each set. Now, one is just called a shoulder blade retraction, and this is to strengthen the muscles around your shoulders. Now, you can stand or sit with this one, but if you're going to sit, you got to be on a really sturdy chair and have that good posture. So pull yourself up, your stomach is in, and squeeze your shoulder blades together, pressing them down tightly to avoid shrugging them. And then just hold it for 3 seconds. So you're just basically moving your shoulder blades back, holding them for 3 seconds, and doing this in a set of 10 and then another set of 10. I'm doing it as I'm talking to you. The next one is called a seated back extension, and this is to strengthen your upper back and to ease low back pain. It also really improves your spinal alignment. So what you do is you sit up straight in a chair, again, a sturdy chair, and you cross your arms over your chest. I'm doing this as I'm telling you. And you slowly arch your trunk backwards in a very slow, controlled movement, and then hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, and then return and start again. It's really simple. It's just like pushing your bottom back into the chair, but keeping your posture straight. And you're doing 2 sets of 10, so 20 repetitions. And the final one is you have to lay on the floor, the pelvic tilt. Almost everybody knows this one. And this really improves the curvature of your lower spine. So you lie on your back on a mat or a rug, your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the floor. And then you slowly bend your lower back and tilt your pelvis backward into the floor. And then the rest of the body stays relaxed. And you got to hold it for 3 to 5 seconds. And then you relax. And then you do it again. And again, 10 of each of these. But even just pulling your stomach in, sitting up straight, standing up straight, putting your shoulders back, and checking yourself in the mirror to see if you are straight will help you immensely. And you'll tend to have less pain, less back pain, and it will help just all your in total alignment. So those are two big health tips for today, the collagen and posture. And I hope it's going to be helpful to you. So that is the show for this week. And I'm excited for next week when one of my former volunteers of Be the Star You Are, who was actually the very first host on this teen show, Express Yourself, Stephen Zhao, who is now a PhD. He's just launched his first book that's called From First Job to Career. And he'll be our guest next week. And he has so much information. And it's really exciting when someone who started with me in 2008, and here we are in 2025, and we're still connected, and I'm very excited to support him. So make sure you're tuned in to Starstyle, Be the Star You Are, every week, and especially next week. We'll always help you change your life, make it for the better, and maybe make your dreams come true. For more information about myself or my new book that's coming out, Flap Forward, Fly Free, it is available now on Amazon at the full price, or you can get it at cynthiabrian.com at a discounted price. I think it's discounted by $3 or $4, so it's kind of a good deal. And you'll get it autographed, and you'll get extra goodies with it, and then it'll be shipped directly to you when it actually hits the bookstores. Go to cynthiabrian.com. Don't forget, Be the Star You Are charity will be hosting a wonderful booth at the Pear and Wine Festival. For more information, visit bethestaryouare.org and check events, bethestaryouare.org. My aim is to encourage, inspire, inform, amuse, and motivate. I want you to see beyond your physical being and know you are already the star you dreamed of becoming. Cherish the past, dream of the future, and celebrate every moment of your life. And I hope you will read a book, and I hope you'll pick up any of my books at bethestaryouare.org. Click on the store, or cynthiabrian.com. And until next week, when we play on the Starstyle playground, remember that love always wins, kindness always prevails, and smiles will keep us happy. I'm Cynthia Brian for Starstyle. I thank you and ask you to be kind, be inclusive, tell the truth, live with integrity, embrace cultures, love unconditionally, encourage others, be generous, read, lead, succeed, communicate, collaborate, innovate, and most of all, be your unapologetically authentic self because everyone counts. Again, until we celebrate again, go out into the world and be the star you are. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll be